Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Poor Innocent Channel and what it's like to really be an actor in Great Britain. Well, I did say this week would be a question and answer week, and it's precisely that. Had a couple of questions here, one from Daniel Ross. He says to me, when it comes to reading for roles, how do I prepare? Well, you're sent a script, if you're very, very lucky, by your agent a few hours before the audition takes place, or maybe the day before the audition takes place, if it's for film. You'll arrive there and they'll just say to you, have you read the script? You say yes or no. Always be honest. No matter what the circumstances, always be honest. Because you never know. You may be just what they're looking for in terms of the way you look. When it comes to television and film, it's the way you look that gets you the role generally, not how good an actor you are. Surprisingly enough, that seems to be the general outlook. So there is no preparation, just be honest. And when it comes to reading, obviously, if you get a chance to read it beforehand, have a good look at it and bring the part to you. Don't take yourself to the role, bring the role to you. After all, it's screen and television. That means you're internalising. The eyes and the pupils really are the only track of emotion that you've actually got when it comes to film. So you really do have to work extremely hard on internalising and bringing the role to you. As opposed to stage, if you're trained as a stage actor, you externalise. You go to the role and you put layers on. So, anyway. Got another question here from Sandra Willis. She says to me, what do I think of the state of the industry today when it comes to women and roles? Well, that's a very interesting question, Sandra. I'd say really the roles really, and being a black actor myself, I know how difficult it is for certain genres and certain peoples to get roles when it comes to this profession. But I will say they are getting better and better. For a start, you've got more black writers in terms of me, but in terms of what you just asked, there are more women writing for women these days than there ever has been before, and the parts are becoming better and more substantial, more meaty, I'd say, than what they were before. There's a whole lot of good stuff happening when it comes to this thing. So it is improving, and it will continue to improve. I will say that if you're a budding writer, Sandra, I wish you all the best, because they do need women writers writing substantial, decent parts of women within the industry. So do keep it up, whatever you're doing. I've got time for a couple more questions. Another one here from Simon Rogers. He says to me, how long does one go on as a person when it comes to try? And when should he decide to give up? It's a very ironic question because I don't think really you give up. But I think the profession gives you up a lot of the time. A lot of people, I can understand why they give up. They've struggled very hard to make ends meet, or they've gone to this massive big drama school or whatever it is they do to actually train themselves professionally within the scope of being a professional actor. And they come out and they expect the world to be at their feet. And I think quite a few of them are sort of knocked for six when they find out that it isn't quite that. So you really do have to sort of say to yourself, have you got what it takes to actually make it within the industry? Do you know what you want from the industry? I think that's the biggest question. What do you as an individual want from the industry? So if you've got some sort of idea of what you want from it, it'll help actually move you forward as an individual, as a human being, and as an artiste. And the rest generally follows. The rest falls into the slipstream, and the slipstream, funny enough, eventually depicts the momentum of your career in the end, because the slipstream sometimes picks up momentum and pushes your career forward. So it really is very important to have some sort of compass when you get into drama school as to actually how far you're going to go as an individual within the profession. As for the quag and the resistance you meet outside of it, your resilience and your focus as an artiste is the one that will actually plough you through if that's meant to be. Anyway, the last question. This is from Tom Durrant. He says, Paul, what do your family do? Are they anything to do with the acting profession, or do you come from a family which has nothing to do with the profession itself? Well, Tom, I come from a family that's absolutely nothing at all to do with the profession. They all do regular 9-to-5 work, and I do 9-to-5 work when I'm not engaged in an acting appointment. The reason I'm still doing what I do is because I'm driven as an artiste, and I know the niche that I want from the industry. It's not quite filled quite yet. And also there's one other thing. There's this thing called Spotlight, which the actor goes into every year. It's a big book here in Britain, which actually advertises you as an actor to all the agents and casting directors, producers, people like that. That book cost about £155, which is about $300 in the US market. And all the time I'm getting work as an actor and it's managing to pay for itself. Hence, I'm managing to get enough money per year, even if it's just one acting job, which pays me more than £155 and I can afford to stay in that book on a yearly basis. I just say to myself, well, it pays for itself. So there's no harm in me just putting myself back in. I haven't pulled any money from outside of the industry to actually keep myself inside of the industry. And that helps me decide, oh, it's still happening. There's still a chance. There's still a chance. As for any other ambitions I've got, that's down to me and my drive, obviously. But there you are. Anyway, that's it for this week's episode of the Poor Innocent Channel and what it's like to really be an actor in Great Britain. Bye-bye.